Mute. Good morning, everybody. It's Mira here from Buzz Career Counselling. How are you this morning? I have had a few days away from employment chats, trying to get a few things in order for myself as well. So many changes happening right now. Today I wanted to talk about adapt. Keyword. I always say this to my clients in career counselling, that it's so important to be flexible and adapting, because we know that even the world of work and careers is always going to be slightly changing. We thought big changes, automation and new needs coming out and things like that. So the world of work is always going to be changing, and those people who thrive are the ones who are able to adapt, change, redirect, grow, learn. So this is no different. This is still the same philosophy. So what I'm wanting to do today is to just talk about how you might go about adapting. And I know that it's going to be difficult, and I understand that it's going to be, at the moment it's going to be stressful, overwhelming. So much chaos is a word that's been floating around in my head as well. There's just so many changes happening around me. I'm at home in my new space, and I get that. But for just this moment, I want you to think about, how could I actually see this positively and adapt to this and sort of roll with it, because that's when you're going to be able to succeed or do well, or at least, take on some new things. So just got a couple of points I wanted to mention today. So the first thing is, in this adapting, is to actually accept what is. So we tend to sort of, look at everybody else, look at blame, look at, whose fault is it? Is it China's? Is it conspiracy? Is it, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that's going to just consume our energy. For me, I don't have very much energy, someone with a chronic illness. So I know about using energy wisely. So let's not waste time on all of that. And let's just accept what is. What is there's a health pandemic in the nation, in the world. So used to saying national, in the world. And, it's not just you. It's not just Sunshine Coast. It's not just even Queensland. It's far, far bigger than that. So let's just put our energy into accepting it. It is what it is. Okay. So that allows us to kind of let go, of that angst, and let go of that suffering. So number 2, don't be the victim, okay, that you've lost your job. I understand that that's incredibly difficult, and finance and, the stress would be absolutely enormous over that. And I understand that for some people you need to get those finances in order first, as in government assistance and things like that. So do that. Make that your step 1. And as I spoke about in previous employment chats, that you can't think of anything else unless you've got, money to put food on the table. So I get that. But I'm talking after this. Okay, so not playing that victim. It is going to happen to, so many people. If you're one of the restaurants, cafes and clubs and things like that, again, I didn't listen to last night, so I had a night off from not listening to anything coming through. I actually been listening to Jacinda in New Zealand. So if you're one of the, it's going to impact everybody. So although you might have been first or you might have been second, slowly, unless you are those essential services, you're going to be impacted. So no point in being a victim. We're all just a player in this change. Okay. Number 3, accepting of change. So we've accepted the situation. We've not been a victim. We're just a player. And now we're going to accept that things are going to change. And for me, and I said this before and I've said it over the years as well, which makes me good in my job because I love change. But for me, change is okay. Change is exciting. I need change. But for some people, that's really, really hard. They like things to be predictable and the same and structure I do need structure, but they like it to be the same. If that's you, then you're going to need to really work on accepting that so many things are changing. And maybe I got something going on there. Maybe that change is okay. Change is not going to be that bad. Look at times when you've had change before in your life and how you adapted to that. What sort of skills did you use? What sort of thinking did you use in order to take on that new change? Because let's face it, it's pretty hard to avoid change in our lives. Just growing old, we change every year. We're slightly different. Our bodies are different. So change is inevitable, but this is on a big scale. So try and look at your own skill set around change and how you go about adapting to it. So accepting that change, we're going to change how we shop, we're going to change how we exercise, we're going to change how, I've already started changing what I'm eating because I've got more time on my hands. We're going to change how we pull the roll on the toilet paper. Everything is changing. Okay, so just be accepting of that. Just watch it rather than reacting to it. Just watch what's happening with change. Number 4 is being flexible. Think of yourself as like a rubber band, like a bouncy ball. You're going to need to be sort of seeing things a little bit differently. Sort of rather than react, just sort of bounce with it. Think of that bouncing. Oh, okay, so this is not happening, so I'm just going to bounce over here. Or I'm going to bounce. There's going to be lots of changes as we go through the next however amount of time. So think about how you can be flexible, because when we're flexible, I'm trying to think of something that I want to use as an example, but when we're flexible, we can sort of go with the flow more. So when we're rigid, I guess the opposite is that we sort of hit walls. We're resistant, we react, we're fired up, we've got our walls up. But when we're flexible, we can kind of go, oh, okay, so we're not going to put energy into resistance. We're actually going to just try and flow with what's happening. Every day things are changing. Okay, a couple of days ago I realized this and what was said by the government, and I was just like, Argh! And then I thought, stop. On my days in Education Queensland, where things constantly change, and it's okay. Just things will be different tomorrow. So I'm not going to spend too much energy reacting to what's happening today, because I know change will happen again tomorrow. So that kind of just helped me to go, you know what, you've done this before. Education Queensland used to bring out so many new things and everyone would arc up. And it's like, it's okay. We're just going to give it a go, and then perhaps something else will come in. So change, sorry, Education Queensland, change is going to happen, and try and just be flexible. Okay. Just don't hang on to everything every day, because it'll just keep changing as we go. Everyone's going to keep changing. I keep saying to my teenage daughter, she's going to be doing things differently. She's kind of gone into a bit of a, not liking change as much as I do. And I said, you young people, you will think of so many new ideas, new ways to actually communicate and hang out. And it's just going to be different. Different's okay. It'll still happen. It'll just be different. So number 5, open to new. Now this is new you as well as new world around you. So we kind of need new everything going on right now. Sometimes with my career counseling clients, they just become the new, and then they sort of off they go into something else. But at the moment, everything around us is new, as well as we need to be a little bit new. We need to have new ideas. We need to have new ways of looking at things, new perspectives, new beliefs, new beliefs about yourself and your skills. That's going to be needed. Just new you, new thinking, new skills, maybe new actions, new behaviors. You're going to perhaps take some leaps that you would never have thought of taking, but sometimes those critical times actually give us that courage to do something new. It's a matter of food on the table or not. I need a new job, so I'm going to go from this to this job. Would never have thought of that. Would never have had the courage to do that. Fear would have kicked in. You haven't got time for that at the moment. It's just like, yes, I need a new job. Right, now I'm packing fruit boxes. Now I'm working in a hand sanitizer factory. So new you, absolutely new you, to adapt to the new world around you. Number 6, you're going to need to be a little bit optimistic, a little bit positive. This is what I'm good at. You're going to need to see the, have you seen the entrepreneurs? They are on fire. They are just ticking. They're thinking of new ideas. You know, how can we do this? There's new problems in the world. That means there's got to be new solutions in the world. So some people might be able to be jump into that entrepreneur world for the moment. Other people might be able to adapt in their own workplace, like the takeaways are now massive. So now we need deliveries, you know, whereas before you were just serving someone at a cafe. So all of a sudden that's completely changed. What can happen like that for you? So be really optimistic. What comes with optimism is opportunities, is seeing things differently and being open to what could happen. That's optimistic. Seeing the positive side of it. Okay, so all right, so this is happening, and I've you know, I've accepted it. I have not playing the victim. I'm accepting of change. I'm flexible. I'm open to being a new person, what I need to be, and now I'm optimistic. Okay, what can I see? What opportunities can I see? What opportunities can I create even better for myself? But you're going to need some of that optimism. You're going to need some of that positivity. Doing those steps I've just talked about is going to bring you up into that optimism space, into what can happen, being open. What more could happen in, you know, that in certain situations? How can we solve that problem? There's so many people who come to me who are very, very creative and very innovative, and they haven't been able to use this in their workplace, and they're just dying. Here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity to shine. Here's your opportunity to actually go, oh, what can I create? I've seen it everywhere, and it's just so exciting to see people problem solving already. Jump on board. Don't wait for your employer to think of the ideas. Jump on now. Make them. I've been making suggestions all over the place. Jump on and say, hey, you could do it like this. Hey, you could do it like that. Maybe you're more of an innovator than they are. They'll be open. If they're an entrepreneur, or if they're, you know, managing, they will be open. Right now is a time where people are so open to problem solving more than any time ever before. And right now is your chance. Those creative people, even if you're not, sorry, my phone's buzzing, even if you're not creative, start being creative and bring in some really amazing problem solving to what's going on. So optimism. Just stay open. Anything's possible. You are possible. And the last one, which is where I already am, is excited. Okay, I know it's really hard. And a lot of people, if they're watching this, are going to be going, I can't be excited because I've got this, I've got that, and then you're going to bring the situation back down again. I know there's lots going on. And so just tick those problems that you have, put them on a list, tick them off one by one. I've got to get onto the sole trader thing. I've got to get onto my bank. I've got to do all those things myself. But then I allow myself to step out of that and go, right, now, how can I adapt to this situation? How can I be bringing in some new ideas? Doing these employment chats. That's something new for me that I haven't been doing. So let's just do those things today. And that is adapt. Okay, you're going to adapt, because if you adapt, you will survive and possibly even thrive. So all those buried creative minds need to rise up to the challenge right now. You need to start connecting with people, making ideas, making change happen, helping people to make change. Half the world are good at change and the other half really aren't. So those ones who are good, jump over here and actually help. And together, we're going to be able to solve a lot of problems. Okay, have a wonderful day getting through your checklist of things that you need to be doing from my previous employment chats. And today, I want you to just take a little bit of time out. I'm going to drop them in my notes, the 1 to 7 that I mentioned today, and see if you can even just start with 1. All right. It's going to be okay. Speak to you soon.